Hi friends, Peter here. Glad to see y'all here this week. Have you ever wondered to yourself, who am I? I know that's a huge question with an even huger answer, but it's one that I'm sure many of us are starting to wonder. So, like me, right? Who am I? Who is Peter? Well, obviously, my name is Peter, right? I'm a Hmong American. I'm a middle child. I'm totally a foodie. I am a gamer. I am a musician. I am double jointed in my thumbs, right? Can you see that? I'm someone who also loves donuts. Oh man, that's my thing. Donuts. It hits the soul just right. So in my identity, when I think about it, I'm a lot of things. And I guess you're a lot of things too. So perhaps the question of who am I might actually take some time to answer. Over the next few weeks, we're going to dig into that very question. Who am I? We're going to look at it from different angles, and we're going to look at it from the influences that shape us, and how sometimes we also have the opportunity to shape others around us. And tonight, I want to talk about how our identity is partly formed by our friends. They can influence who we are and what we do and what we think and how we sometimes feel. For example, I remember my tennis phase. Oh man, I remember that I would live and breathe tennis. During gym class, I go play some tennis. After school, go play some tennis. After church, go and play some tennis. You kind of get the point. I played a lot of tennis. But specifically, I remember that it was my friends who started playing first. And so just hanging around with them, I was influenced to live and breathe tennis. And I'm sure there's something that you currently do because you're just kind of around your friends who do it. Our friends influence us, and we can influence our friends as well, simply by being around each other. Another one that I think of is playing the guitar. See, growing up, my dad, he was a musician, and my older brother was influenced by my dad, and basically he just followed in my dad's footsteps. I did not. I'm sure, that they influenced me in a small way, but they really weren't my main influences to start playing the guitar. I started playing the guitar from a place of hurt, actually. Another group of my friends, they all played guitar, except me. But instead of inviting me into it, they all kind of inadvertently pushed me out of the friend group. And that's just because I didn't play the guitar. So I decided to pick up the guitar, and I taught myself without them. See, the thing that I learned from that experience was that friends can influence us, and we can influence our friends from the things we do to each other, whether we realize it or not. And as I got older, I remember my youth pastor forming a student worship band. I remember what it felt like to be excluded from that previous time, so I intentionally made the decision. I intentionally lived and spoke in ways to these new friends as to not let them experience the hurt that I experienced. And it was in that student worship band that I formed some of my closest friendships today. I was able to influence them in wonderful ways, and they were able to influence me, and they still are. They're influencing me in wonderful ways as well, especially in my identity as Peter and my identity as a friend to Jesus. And speaking of Jesus, I think he and the Bible had a lot of good things to say about friends and how we should influence one another. One that's coming to mind right now for me is Hebrews 10:24. It reads this: "Let us think of ways to motivate one another in acts of love and good works." Basically, as good friends, we should influence each other to be kind and loving in everything that we do. And Jesus also had something to say about how we should love one another as friends too. He said this, "Love each other in the same way I've loved you. There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends." What do you think that means? Loving each other the way Jesus loves us and laying down one's life? What do you think that means? As you head to discussion, take some time to ponder on what you think Jesus is talking about and share some of your thoughts on how we as friends should be influencing each other. Oof, I'm excited. I know it's going to be good. I'm excited to hear what y'all has got to say. Have fun. Bye.